All right, we're just getting our first images, courtesy of Sarah Sanders at the White House, tweeting out two photos of Mike Pompeo, just approved today to be our next Secretary of State. The vote there, by the way, 57-42. This might have been a big reason why he secured that vote. That meeting over Easter weekend with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. That certainly helped improve a number of Democrats reconsidering and voting for him, and he was indeed voted to be Secretary of State. That vote again, 57-42. Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger is a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. These images just getting to us right now, Congressman, and they come on the heels of the South and North Korean leaders planning their own meeting ahead of that Donald Trump meeting with the North Korean leaders. Things are moving fast. What do you make of it?
Well, first off, congrats to Mike. He and I sat next to each other for 6 years on the committee. He's a good friend of mine, and he's going to be a great Secretary of State. On this issue, we can't understate how important this moment is with North Korea. So, number one, we're having some very good progress, it seems like, both with the meeting between the North and South to try to negotiate an end to this 50-some, 60-year-long war. The fact that Mike went and met with Kim Jong-un, the fact that they've agreed to freeze their nuclear testing is all great. I think on the downside, we have to be cautious of the fact that you can't have any stronger diplomacy than you have at this moment, so this better not fail. And this is a lesson to Kim Jong-un, is don't fail now, because there's no other alternative after this. So I give the president a whole lot of props for coming to this from a position of strength, but being willing to negotiate from a position of strength.
You know, Congressman, guys, if we can show this picture again of the two meeting here. Obviously, it's not a frivolous encounter. They talked for about an hour. The president seemed to indicate on Fox and Friends this morning. But it was all business, and it was brief and to the point, despite the long trip with the CIA director, now soon to be Secretary of State. But obviously, they talk about parameters for those talks with President Trump. President Trump indicating again that he is open to walking away from the table if it looks like they're dilly-dallying, that is, the North Koreans, and nothing is coming of these discussions. What do you think of that?
I think it's the good position. When Mike meets with Mr. Pompeo, Secretary Pompeo meets with Kim Jong-un, it needs to be business, not a lot of chit-chat. Kim Jong-un is a terrible man, but we do have business conduct with him. Mainly, they cannot have nuclear weapons. For the president to come at this, unlike with the Iran deal, where it was obvious that Barack Obama was going to get a deal no matter what, the president has come at this, President Trump, and said, we want a deal, but we're willing to walk away from it. And I think that puts the impetus back on North Korea to say, look, if there's ever an armed conflict, you're going to lose. We don't want that, but you're going to lose. You might want to negotiate with us, and we'll treat you fairly in those negotiations, but having nukes aren't one of those options.
Separately, as you know, the White House doctor, Ronnie Jackson, has stepped down from being considered supposed to head the VA. The president has tipped his selection yet. He did seem to intimate in that Fox and Friends interview this morning that it would be someone with some political experience. I assume by that, sir, he means someone in Congress, but I could be wrong, or a former member of Congress. What do you think of the way the whole Jackson thing was handled?
Well, it's hard to tell. Some of the allegations seem kind of ridiculous, but then there were some that had merit. But here's the thing I would caution my Democratic friends on the other side of the aisle. They are nitpicking every cabinet secretary to the nth degree. So basically, anytime anything happens, they blow this into a major story, and people aren't taking real allegations. We're not really taking it seriously anymore. Someday the Democrats will be in the White House again. I hope it's a long day away, but they will. We have treated President Obama's cabinet secretaries fairly. They are trying to nitpick these people to death. Sometimes you've got to just let these folks go forward. And so it's a shame that a guy that has given so much to his service kind of went out this way, if you want to put it that way. But I think we'll get a new nominee to replace him. That'll be really good.
You should hear what Democrats say about you guys not letting President Obama get his Supreme Court picket. So I guess what's good for the goose can be good for, well, whatever. All right, Congressman, thank you very much.